Do you remember how we talked about our spawn system the last time? I want to build a fixed time step spawn system. Now, a pixel perfect spawn system. A tick spawn system, as you will. I call it the tick system. Tick spawn system. That's what I want to build today. And so what I want to do here is have some data that says I want to spawn a certain type of enemy every 10 ticks. Okay, so we have a start. This could be a time, essentially. Okay, I start on, let's say, 5 seconds. And then I want to have a tick frequency. And that would be, I spawn an enemy every 10 ticks. That would be an integer value. Very simple. Now, of course, I can't really operate in starting ticks. I don't know how you would do that. So let's say I have 5 seconds. I mean, that would... I guess we could convert the 5 seconds into ticks. I suppose that would be 5 times the tick rate. So 5 times 50 ticks. So that would calculate, that would come out to be 250 ticks, right? 250. So I would need to figure out a way to find the tick at which I start. 50 FPS. So yeah, the way this works is like this. If we go to the game, at the very top I have this tick rate. The updates per second. This is the ticks per second, essentially. 50 times. I tick 50 times. And now if I say that I want to start at 5 seconds, the conversion to ticks is to take the ticks per second and multiply that by the seconds. And that's when I know that on tick 250 is when I want to start spawning. Now, we would have to figure out one last thing at this point. Do we start here? If this is the time and this over here is 250, right? This is the entire time, and somewhere here in the middle is 250. When do we start spawning? Do we spawn here? Or do we start at 250 plus 10, which would be here? This would be 260. This is just a little logical question. I think the start should indicate where the first enemy spawns. And then the tick frequency would give us the frequency. And then I suppose we would also want to have a count. And then that would be, let's say, I want to have 10 enemies. 250 ticks. It should start on 250. I think I like that too, yeah. Spawn an enemy at the end of the tick. When the tick timer reached 0, hold on. 250 plus 10 is 260. Yes, yeah, that's right, bro. Exactly. So this is what I want to do. A tick spawn system instead of a time-based spawn system. Now that we have ticks. And for that, I need to store the tick counter of the game. We don't have the previous angle, which would definitely cause an error. Hero.weapon data. .weapon angle. There we go. Order of move and spawn logic matters. Spawn enemy at the end of the tick when the tick timer reaches 0. So, in order to do this, I want to build a new array, new data first, before we get rid of the old data. That is, let's see, stat to string is not something we need right now. Let's collapse this. Damage types, items, we don't need that at the moment. Tutorials, we don't need that. Spawn data, there we go. So, how do we spawn? And what does a round look like? Spawn batch. So, I need to generate another struct that's called round 2. And that takes in a different spawn batch. Spawn batch 2. Because we just want to add in stuff, right? But before we do this, I want to quickly git commit and push. Thank you very much for following, Roth. Good morning. Oh. I'm not saying Rust is better than C++ or vice versa. Everyone has a reason for liking a language, yeah. But I also learned Zig around the time, and it was my personal preference. All languages are valid. Yeah, every language is valid other than Zig. True. You're right. Let's see. Git add. Git commit. -m. And then we say interpolated rendering. Done. Push. And now we do the spawn system. Next thing would be the spawn system. We begin with this. And then what do we have? We have a counter. We have a float time start. And then we have, instead of a time step, this would be an int. Spawn or tick frequency. Spawn frequency. That's an int and then a count, and we don't need a time end. There we go. Now, in order to get this done properly, we need spawn batch 2. And then we can create another stack tick count spawn data 2. We're literally going to do the same thing. And copy one of these over. There we go. Now we need to somehow convert this. We start on 0, right? And these are round 2s now. So there's no time start. Now what is it though? Actually, there was time start. And then count and time step, that would be the spawn frequency, I think. And so that would be every 10 ticks. There we go. Cool. Now, the spawn frequency, well before, let's see, what did we have? We had 1 every second. So the spawn frequency in this one would be, I want to spawn 1 every 50 ticks. Every 50 ticks equals 1 second. This is how we could begin. That's the first round done. And essentially, all we need to do is mark this here so we can go back. And then we have spawn system reloaded. This is the one we have to change. We are running the level. We are currently figuring out, okay, well, how many enemies do we need to spawn? First and foremost, yeah, I forgot. In the game state, struct, or is it level state? I think it's level state. I need an int tick counter. And every time we simulate and we update the level, I need to increase the tick counter by 1. If it's not paused, so essentially here. And we get a tick here. Cool! So we have that in there now. We need this mapping here as well. And then it's spawn system reloaded. Right here, actually. Cool. Let's see. We take a look at round data 2, spawn data 2. We get round 2. Then we get a spawn batch 2. And then we need a const int tick elapsed ticks is level state tick counter. This how many ticks are elapsed. And then the start time, we have a const int start, I guess, I don't know, start tick or something. That would be the start time for the spawn batch times the update delay. The update delay, is it the delay? No, it's the updates per second. Updates per second. This is essentially what we do here. This gives us a number, an integer number. And now what happens? I don't know what happens if we have, let's say, a value of instead of 5, right, we use 5.2. If we multiply that by 50, then we get some weird tick counter. Let's just do that really quickly. 5.2 times 50, 260. Okay, 5.12 times 50. I mean, it always seems to work. Wait, 5.7 times 50? Huh. Wow, it just works, bro. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, so now we need to check if the start tick is greater or equal to... Wait a minute. We don't need time end. This is basically we reached the end, right? We reached the end. So our elapsed ticks are greater than... I see. Start tick, const int. Gotcha, bitch. End tick is the start tick times the spawn batch dot spawn frequency times plus. Sorry about that. That's supposed to be a plus times the spawn batch dot count. That's the end tick. So our elapsed ticks are greater than the start tick. No, wait. Are greater than the end tick. Yes. And or so wait, so this is we reach the end, and then we haven't reached the start, right? So our elapsed ticks are still less than the start tick, right? So elapsed tick, and this has to be greater. And I know that I can merge those two. We will. Okay, we will merge these in a second. But for now, this is essentially the start and end. And now what we need to do here is... Shit! Fuck. Give me a second. I need to figure out the exact tick at which we... Yes! Gotcha, bitch! Okay, so how do we do this? Oh yeah. So, wait. We need the... Gotcha, bitch. Wait a minute. In the struct level state. Come on. Here. We have the spawn counter. Int. These spawn counters are important. I think. Or we can do this with modulo, but we'll have to see. I think we can test. We need to spawn. I think we can figure this out using modulo. So we take the elapsed ticks and then we modulo that, the spawn batch dot frequency. And if that's 0, then we spawn. Because we will never have the same tick twice. Correct? Or maybe that's wrong. Let's make an example. Let's say... Example, let's do this in green. Let's say we start on 75. This is start, right? And then the frequency is 3. Right? Will modulo break this? And then if, let's say, my counter is 76. If I mod that by 3, I think that gives me the wrong... I think this is wrong. I think I have to do 75 minus... I think I have to do this. I have to do 76 minus 75 and then mod that by 3, right? I think I have to get rid of the start here. Correct? Do I have to get rid of the start? This is a horrible way of doing it. Buzzy loop for the less than 1% of the time doing something. Problem is, what do you mean buzzy loop? There's no buzzy loop. Here. I think I need to remove this. Just delete the X character instead of going insert mode and deleting, bro. What? Just use the X character instead of going into insert mode to deleting, bro. Yeah, I'm trying. I just have this in my head. Like it's what is it called? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, I'm gonna try this. So elapse ticks minus start tick. Maybe this is bad. Maybe this is good. If we spawn, then we essentially. I see. We just add this here. Wait a minute. That's not the spawn system. Eh? Wait a minute. This is just calculating how many enemies are going to spawn. Wait a minute. Let me test this here really quickly. If I have 5 enemies spawning after 250, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be... Do I calculate the end properly? The end would be the start plus the frequency times count. So let's say there's 5. That is 250 plus 50. That would be 300. We are here now at 300. 300. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 60, 70, 80, 90. We have an issue. So the end tick for this would be count minus 1. That's the last tick. That's number 1. Every frame you're checking if the ticks meet the threshold and if an enemies should spawn. Yeah, but I only have 5 spawn batches. I only checked this for 5. This is nothing, bro. This doesn't do anything. It's literally done like this. Boom. It spends no time here. Absolutely not. Nothing happens. But this is essentially the real spawn system already. I just want to figure out how many enemies are left to spawn. Which means for the level we need to go through all of the spawn batches. I think we just add the counter to them, right? That would be very easy. I think this is actually the code to spawn stuff here. And then this is the spawn system reloaded. This is the real thing. And let me see here. Spawn system reloaded. There's no while loop. We never spawn 2 enemies in one place. We just do this. I don't know what that counter plus plus does. This is a reference. We don't need that counter at all. Level path. Yeah, that looks good to me. Cakez, what's the reason why you insist so much on spawning a batch of 1 enemies and not 1 by 1? Spawning batch of enemies and not 1 by 1. A spawning batch is easier to program in, bro. Bloons programmed it the same way. Give me 1 second, okay? I wanna change the music a little bit. I think this is very easy. And then over here, all we need to do is go through the round, get the spawn batch, and then level state. Are enemies left to spawn? I see. Wait, so we need a little bit more. We need the start tick and the end tick. Yeah, wait a minute. That's a bit... We reach the end. Yeah. If we are past the end, we don't calculate this anymore. And then we need to figure out, okay, so we have currently our elapsed ticks. How do we do this? So, wait. Tick spawn system, right? How do we figure out how many enemies are left to spawn? In real time. Let's say we have a timeline. This is the leveled time. And we start to spawn enemies here. And we spawn them, I don't know, we spawn them here, 5 enemies. Okay, and the time for the level just goes and goes and goes, and it's here right now. Okay, and we know that we are operating in ticks, right? Let's say this is 250. Well, let's just say this is 200, and then every 10 ticks, every 10, it spawns. And we are currently on tick 215. Now, we need to figure out how many are left to spawn based on this number and this number and this number. And then we know that we have 5. Which is this. How do I do this? I don't know what GG Easy is, but the project is a CPU renderer and the goal was to really do everything from scratch and just use STL to write the Windows buffer. Okay, let's see. 215.
Am I so out of touch? No.
Mr. Elmida just subscribed. Big tick support for 26 years. Yacht.
Guten Mittag. Guten Morgen. Hello, Mr. Elmida. Hope you're doing good, bro. How was your weekend? Hello there, sir. Are the ticks a timestamp? A fixed timestamp? Yes. Every tick here is 0.02 seconds. The ticks are this, essentially. This right here. I'm going to work with 50 ticks per second from now on, and I'm not going to change it starting now, essentially. I want to have a tick-based perfect spawn system. And I need to do that so that balloons... No, not balloons. So that I have essentially deterministic results. At least from the perspective of spawning enemies. Why not 60 ticks? Because Unity does 50 ticks by default. And it seems fine. And so I'm gonna save a little bit of frames per second. That's why. 26 years? What are you guys talking about? 26 years. Because Unity? Yeah, yeah. Guys, you can make fun of Unity all you want. But Unity is actually very good technologically. Okay? I just thought 60 FPS is like a normal frame rate, right? It said Mr. Amida was subscribed for 26 years. 0.02. I'm not having, it's not about saving FPS. 50 Hertz is just a nice round number. Yeah, that's also true. 0.02 is better than 0.16. Though I did realize, Inukai, that 0.02, if I inspect that in the debugger, it's 0.199999999. Actually, it's not really 0.02. I started using Godot. That's awesome, bro. Counter-Strike has 64. That's fine. Anyways, guys, so this is how I want to do it. And essentially, guys, I could even do this, okay? I could even say, where's the calculator? Let's say we start on 5 seconds, right? We multiply that by the tick rate. If we have 64 ticks, then that's 320 ticks. Now I say I want to spawn an enemy every 0.1 second, okay? 0.1 second. Now I multiply that by the tick rate, which is 64. That would be every 6.4 ticks. That doesn't work. So I guess I have to still work on ticks here. That doesn't work. Oh, 6.4 ticks doesn't work. So I have to say it spawns every 10 ticks. Why does Cakez have such a complicated system just to spawn an enemy? That's a very simple system, bro. This is very simple. I don't know what you're talking about. I just need to figure out how many enemies are left to spawn. So we need to figure out this calculation here. We have 215. We start on 200. So I guess we remove that. Right, I think we need to start the elapsed ticks. We need to remove the start tick. And then we know that we have not reached the end yet. But that can go into a minus value. This can go into a minus value. Cakez, but there shouldn't be an input into deterministic calculation only order. So essentially we wanna figure out. Let's do this. 215 minus 200 is 15. That gives us ticks into it. This is how much we have to remove. So the minimum of this is gotta be 0. This is how many ticks we are into it. This is how much we have to remove from the ticks. And so how many ticks do we have? Essentially we have end tick minus start tick. This is how many ticks in general we do. Plus minus 1 though. So let's test this here, okay? 200, 210, 220, 230, 240. And then we have, let's do a calculator. 240 minus 200 is 40. Okay, 40 ticks. And then we take those 40 ticks. We get rid of the start. And then we divide that. We divide that by the spawn batch dot count. I think that's what it is. So for example, in this case we would take 5 and divide that by 5, 25. So essentially we have 25 and divide that by 5. That doesn't work. No, I need to divide that by the frequency. So not the count, but by the spawn frequency. So in this case, we wanted to take 25 and divide that by 10, and therefore we spawn 2 left. That's wrong though. Wait a minute, 215, we spawned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We spawned one here, we spawned a second one here, and then 15, right? We have 40. Wait, that's actually... Wait, 40 minus 15 is 25. What was that sound? That was a... whatever that is. You're using weird math instead of using a constant? Shut the fuck up, bro. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, 14 minus 15. Yeah, guys. Okay, my brain is using power for something else right now. Okay, I don't want to spend any computational power on simple math problems. Okay, I'm trying to figure out something else right now. So 25 divided by 10, which is the frequency, is 2.5. So I guess I need to round it up. So this needs to be a seal. That is the enemies left to spawn. What? What's this complaining about here? Ignoring the return value of a function declared with a const attribute. Eh? Guys, what's the issue? Do I do const here? Skill? What's the problem? Oh, I hate const, man. I fucking hate this. It's not wrong. Good morning, Pikachu. Hope you're doing good.
I'm just gonna try again!
True.
God damn it! The door's open. I should not be so loud.
You know what? I'm just gonna ignore this because this sucks. So that's a level state. Enemies left to spawn plus equals. So yeah. This is how it is. I don't know why this complains. Dog shit, by the way. Can't really tell what the issue is, but they can go eat a dick. Why is demo gone, Cakes? Because I'm not advertising it at the moment. So yeah, anyways, works. It's blue now, or whatever. I'm gonna test if this actually works. So, we now have enemies left to spawn. We are now calculating the new spawning system. And that means we should have 20 enemies in the first round to spawn. Let's see if this works. Ah, it says 19. Okay, we are off by 1. That's fine. It says 19. Nice. I wonder why. And then we have to place this guy first. They spawn correctly, but the time here is... Wait a minute. Huh? What's the issue here? How did you know 19 is less than 20 without a calculator? Yay, Monday, and halfway through the workday, a production server suddenly shuts down and reboots for unknown reasons. And it's because it's a Windows server. Oh god, I know Orc knocked up to me. Figuring out the exact issue cause is annoying to find out. So I want to know, why do you guys hate Windows servers so much? Because Windows gives you an interface. I like that a lot, actually. I don't know about you, but I like that. Sheesh, butchered. No, I mean it, you know. It's nice. I like it. Scary terminal. No, terminal is fine too, guys. Terminal is fine too. You can have a Linux server with a UI? Yes, you can, I know. But most Linux servers don't use a UI, as far as I know. I don't need GUI stuff on a server, just pointless waste of resources. See, I agree, but you know, I like it. The server stuff just ain't it, and finding a host is harder and more expensive. Windows is really professional and made for the end user. Everything is easy, graphical, and displayed well. Oh, Windows Server license. See, that's the first one that actually spits out something here. I wonder what happens. Why is it calculating this so wrongly? So we have 0, right? Our spawn frequency is 50. Our start tick is 0. The elapsed ticks is 850. Ah, wait. But the end tick is 950? We spawn one every second. 20 enemies. Yeah, seems about right. That's the last tick. And now we need to take the end tick minus the start tick. Which I guess doesn't make much sense because I mean, it does. Now 950. Okay. We do minus. Oh. This needs to be a maximum. That's why. It needs to be a maximum. And then it should work. Divided by 50. Yeah, guys, we have it. Now it's correct. Why does it go up? Did I just kill one? That's not 30 enemies, is it? So it's 90 now. 1, 3, 5. How? It just doesn't make any sense, bruv. It does not make any sense. What are you talking about? Huh? Bro, how? It's 0 right now. Okay, we gotta, you know, debug this and then it will work. Level, state, enemies, left to spawn. 0. Okay, so now, how much do you get? How much do we get? We have spawned 3 enemies so far. We should get... We have 150 elapsed ticks, so 3 enemies spawned already. What are you doing? Are you stupid? We don't need to do anything here. First and foremost, this is number 1. That's bad. Huh. It goes up though. That's bad. It's not supposed to go up. Alright. And 19 is wrong. But we're almost there. Now it's 20. Why did it go up? I don't understand this at all. Let me check. It takes however many enemies we have and draws that number. Okay. Let's put this on 50 and then 100 and too many down. Or maybe just like 60 down. And then we do dot render options is outline. Put this on a new line, and then over here we set the level state enemies left to spawn. Let's see, now I can see it. Should be here somewhere on the text, as a text. Eh? Ah. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, wait. It's 19. Okay. 18, 17, 16. That seems correct to me. This is correct. By the way, the reason why this is flickering...
Am I so out of touch?
...is because of the fixed timestamp.
The orange underscore bot just subscribed.
Thank you.
Big tick support.
Appreciate it.
Year.
Gotcha, bitch.
The orange bot. Thank you so much for the support, man. And the time travel hamster. Thank you so much for following. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Good morning. Yeah. So this seems to be correct to me.
Am I so out of touch?
Then why?
The underscore orange underscore bot is gifting 2 sub to the community.
Dude, thank you so much, bro, for gifting 2 subs to the community. 1 to Pete and 1 to Hamster Steve. My man, thank you. How? How is this 38? That doesn't make any sense. Huh? Why does it go up, man? That doesn't make any sense. Is this a floating point issue again? Is this a floating point issue again? Is this an issue here? It starts with 19. Yeah, let's fix the 19, by the way. Why does it start with 19? Over here. Let's see here. Let's do const int start minus end. Is this? And then const int ticks in is this. And then, well, we have the frequency, but I guess const int frequency is... Now the idea is that we take the start minus end. Oh. We remove the ticks in. Oh, wait. How many ticks are we in? Wait, do we even need that? The start minus end? If we are no ticks in yet. Though we could be 1 tick in, though. Wait, end tick, start tick. We are 15 ticks in. And we remove that from start minus end. Then we divide that by the frequency. That's essentially how I thought about doing it. Did you write your own linear algebra library for this engine or go with a third party? Hello, Fluffy Unicorn. I did write my own like math code whenever I needed it. Yes. All right, let's see. So start minus end ticks in is 167 and the frequency is 50. Let's add that. Start minus end And then the ticks in. And then the frequency. Okay. Plus equals and not just equal. Yeah, plus equals is because I can have multiple batches of enemies spawning. So there could be one batch of enemies that spawns 10. And then another batch of enemies that spawns 20, but 50 seconds later. And so what I want to say is, okay, I want to spawn one batch of enemies starting on time 0. And that spawns me 10. And after this is handled separately from the other batch that spawns me enemy type 2. 15 seconds in. So you're resetting it to 0. Yeah, otherwise I'm resetting it to 0 every time I calculate this again. And so I need to go through all of the batches and calculate how many enemies are supposed to spawn. And this is what we have here. And if we do the calculations, right now we have let's see here, 950 minus ticks in, 167, and then we divide that by 50, which gives us 16 because we round this up. So that would be 16 for this case. Now, if we have 950 and we do no ticks in, I guess it's one tick in, that's why. I see, so we need to calculate this before we do the tick, do we? Wait a minute, let's see here. Though I do the tick here. But then the tick counter is 1. But only if we are running. So that would have spawned the first enemy already. But then the enemy is there. Let's test something. If I restart this, right? It gives me 19. Interesting. So we have 950. We divide that by 50, which is 19. I see. So that's the first problem. Because 950 is wrong. Are you using integer divide, cast to float? It's difficult to say, bro. Because you're doing a weird math instead of using a constant. Let's see if there's some new stuff on YouTube. Yes, there is. Unreal Engine 5, C++ on low IQ, no chance of success. Per unit length from A to B. Don't be rude with me. Hello there. No, that's fine, bro. You're using an integer divide though. I see. So what you guys are saying is I should do the divide in float. The division in float like this. But then we still have the issue of it being 19. Might be right though, int divided by int is int divided by float equals float. So what you guys are saying is, if I do it like this, it might work better. Even though we still have the first issue to solve, which is 19, it still goes up. You're casting the result though. So what you're saying is I should do this in floats. Like this. Two floats. We still have the same issue here, that I do count -1, the end tick. So I guess we do equals, we don't spawn on the last tick, and then we don't do -1 here. That would give us the actual counter. Alright, let's see. And then we just get rid of this for now. That's 20 now. Okay, so then I still don't understand why it goes up every time it spawns a new enemy. Why does it go up? Because the value here is 15, 14. Enemies spawned. Hä? Why does it spawn 5? 7?
Always on top?
Wait a minute, are there actually 2 spawned enemies? Am I blind? Am I stupid? Are there enemies on top? There's enemies on top of each other. It spawns them twice sometimes. Huh. Your variable is called... Why is the text flickering? The reason why it's flickering is because of the fixed time step. I draw this debug text in the fixed loop. And the fixed loop runs at 50 frames per second while the renderer updates at 60. And so only 50 times per second this one is displayed. And 10 times per second it is not. I don't have a better way of doing this at the moment. Like, I could create like a debug text variable or like an array of debug texts that get reset every time I update my game. But for now, this is okay. It's okay when this flickers. So this spawn system spawns units too fast. Interesting. It spawns too many. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, let's try this again. How many units are spawned when we play? Wait, it already spawned an enemy. Oh my god, I used 2 spawn systems. That's why. I was using the old spawn system, bro. It's fine. It's fine. We fixed it now. It works, guys. It works. Is it 20? Oh no. Ah. It's like... I see. It flickers for some reason. It flickers because it's time. It's time. It's time. Wait. I need to wait. This here? Wait, how does it work? That's odd. It does the tick counter ++ here. Huh. Fuck, it's almost perfect. It's like sometimes when it spawns an enemy, then it's disconnected. Yeah, it flickers a little bit. But it's perfect now. It's for like 1 frame, it displays a different number. I wonder what that number is. I think it's the frame where it spawns an enemy here, but the tick didn't happen yet here. So essentially we calculate 20 enemies here. We have 20. And then it's like, oh, tick plus plus. Let me spawn. And therefore, it has 21. Because this one says 20 enemies. This one spawned the first enemy. So when do I do this tick plus plus? Guys, when do I do the tick? Do I do the tick after the spawn system or before? It's a difficult thing. I don't know. After? So, but the first tick is done already. You see? That's the problem. You should you left to spawn minus equals 1 and when it spawns 1? I have no idea how your system works. Oh, what you're saying is whenever I spawn one here, I say enemies smart actually. I could say enemies left to spawn minus equals 1 because of this the tick discrepancy. Actually smart. You still got the variable start minus n thing, by the way. It's slightly bothering me. I won't be able to sleep. What's the problem? Huh? What? Oh, it's end minus start. I get it now. So this guy, I see. It's end minus start. Yes, thank you. Okay, you can sleep tonight, yeah? Okay. That's fine. Okay. I get it now. God damn it! Will Twitch chat be credited in the game as lead programming XD? Did you give me a single hint? Ever, bruv?
Am I so out of touch?
Did you give me a single hint?
No.
The underscore orange underscore bot is gifting 1 sub to the community.
Ooh, the orange bot. Gifting a sub to Toasty Swamp. Toasty Stump. Sorry about that. Toasty Stump. Wow, thanks, bot. Orange. Wait, orange bot? Lol. Wait, there's an orange emote? You're doing great, Cakes. CMake is more reliable. Arguing with Wolfie Dev. You should know that arguing with this guy. Please don't ban. It's okay. No, it's fine. I'm not gonna ban. Let's test if this works, guys. Hey, why is it 19 now? Hey! Why is it 19 now? Hey? Bro. I can't believe this, bro. How can this be so difficult, man? What is the problem? It doesn't spawn 20 then. It doesn't spawn 20. Wait a minute. I know why. Spawn system reloaded. Huh? Should take twice though. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19. Didn't spawn the last one. Wait, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It doesn't spawn the last one. You don't spawn one at the first tick, nor the last tick. Either one should be equals. No. I'm continuing if I have reached the end, aka I'm not at the end tick, greater than the end tick, or I'm continuing if I'm below the start tick. On the start tick and on the end tick, I spawn. I should be spawning. That's wrong. Just do +1, easy fix. Sorry, you're correct. Wait, let's test this again. Guys, I have an idea. We can fix this. There's a float map above, show it. Wait. Alright, I want to see what happens here. How many ticks? 967. End tick is 950. Huh? I'm so confused now. I'm so fucking confused, bruv. Start tick is a float-based calculation. Yeah, but it's 0, so this doesn't make a difference. It's crazy how many lines you need to do something so simple, and on top of that, it isn't even working. Weren't you looking at Coffee Lava, bro? See in 5 minutes, bitch. I need to figure this out, asshole. It looks like it doesn't go in here anymore, because I do this. That's odd, though. I mean, I'm gonna try this, but I feel like it shouldn't work. Just run the unit test to commit if it works. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do that next time. Yeah, 100%. Yes, of course. And now I did. So I don't know why, but it doesn't spawn on the first tick. I know why. Because of tick counter ++. So you guys are right. I need to do tick counter after I spawn. Here. I do the spawn system ++ first. I guess. Yeah. So I don't spawn on the first tick. Yeah, you guys are right. Hey, not -2. -1, bro. Not 2. What are you doing? And then... Oh, that's awesome. Do I still need to do this, though? I might need to do this. Goodness, that was crazy. Need to try this. Fuck, it's 21 now. Shit! It's 21 now! Why? Cakes muting raids. Oh, Justin 6. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that. No, I didn't mute raids. I just totally forgot. Sorry, man. Welcome, you guys. Hello there. Hope you have a good day. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, my brothers. Hello, Justin 6. Hey, did you have a good stream, bro? I'm sorry I don't have a notification for this set at the moment. Hello there, Mr. Bjarksel. Good morning. Did you try storing the stage like enemies left instead of deriving it?
Gotcha, bitch.
Why is it one too many now? I don't understand. At least it's stable now. Wait a minute. Let me test. It's one too many. At least this is stable. That works. Huh? But that doesn't make any sense, though. That doesn't make any sense, bruv. I don't understand this, my guys. Biaxel, thank you very much for following. I had a good stream. Started working on notes for my horror game. Got all the levels done last week. Oh, cool. How do you do notes? You do them like in Amnesia? And Bunny Slayer, thank you so much for following too. You do them like in Amnesia, where whenever you get a node, it's just like this, and then it shows you the icon on the bottom left with like a feather on it. That's how I really liked how they did that there. I was thinking about this actually the other day. Whenever I want to make a 3D game, you know how I want to do nodes, guys? I want to do it like this, essentially. So let's say this is my notebook, right? Let's see, can you guys see this even? This is how I thought I would do it. Let's say you're in a 3D world, right? Like this. And you're running around, right? And this is what you see with your character. I would probably do something like this. Right? Something like that. And then the character would look into this, something like this, right? And you guys, it would zoom in, like somewhat zoom in closer to the character and do this. And then you could read the note and it would do an animation like that. Maximum immersion, essentially. That's what I thought I would do. Sup, Cakez? Hey, gets up. Good morning. My game is 3D as well. I got a Steam page up recently. That's awesome. That's really important. Let's see here. Ooh, Madness. The Tower of Madness. Damn, how long have you been working on this, bro? Nice. Who's making the art for you? Is that you too? Very good stuff. Yeah, let's take a small break from the... take a small break from the stupid spawn system, okay? We're gonna figure that out in a second. Damn. The character feels a little floaty. Is that on purpose? Is there no inverse kinematics in Unity? Is this Unity? Or is this your own game? Oh, these are skeletons. Tower of Madness. Wishlist on Steam. Awesome. Wow, so refreshing to see something good looking. Too much. You're banned, bitch. It's in 5 minutes, asshole. You. Alright. We are remaking the character this week, actually. Yeah? Yeah, then I think you should do that. It feels a little floaty. But I guess you got all of the levels, so what does that mean? Have you done all of the mechanics yet? Something good, just like IFTD. Yeah, sure, bro. Bro in his kitchen, but can't even cook the spawn system. Bro is in his kitchen, but can't even cook the spawn system. I'm not in the kitchen, bro. I'm in the dining room. Essentially, this is my room. Bruv. Not sure what you're talking about. Tower of Madness, it is. 3 hours to spawn a few units. Kinda cringe, bro. It's not 3 hours, you're wrong. Okay, we did something before this. But you're stupid, I know that. So, it's fine. Huh, so it spawns, wait a minute. It has too many here, right? Yeah, so it has 20 here for too long. Why? It's not the spawn system here. I think when the spawn system is done, there should be 20 left. Yes. So it is this loop here that's wrong. They're calculating the enemies left to spawn. I think it has to do with this. Reach the end. What if we do this? But that's not it, isn't it? That gives me 19. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what the problem is. There's always one offset. Could you explain why the start time is multiplied by the updates per second? Yes. I actually explained that already. But it's essentially because I have a tick-based spawn system. And I want to say that the enemies, they spawn at 5 seconds into the level. Because I want to work with time. When I'm building the game, I want to tell the game that I'm spawning an enemy or start spawning the enemies 10 seconds into the level, and it converts this to ticks. Exactly, it multiplies this by the ticks per second. That gives me the tick at which they start spawning. So this is essentially the start tick here. And then I need to make sure that, okay, well, the end tick is just the start tick plus however many I spawn by the frequency. So this would be here. Right, that's how many are left. But then I need to make sure that the end tick... So in this example, I spawn on 0 and I spawn 20 units every 50 ticks. That is 1,000 ticks it takes. But if I spawn a unit on the first tick on 0, then that means I spawn on 0 and the last unit I spawn is on 1,000. So I guess the equals has to be here. I don't want to reach the end. And then over here, as I have not reached the 1,000 tick yet, let's test this. Maybe this works. It says 21. It doesn't work. It says 21. So this is time-based spawning. Why do you need a certain number of enemies to verify it? Because I'm supposed to spawn 20 enemies. If the game tells me that I'm currently looking at 21 enemies, which you could see here, that's wrong. That's not 21. That's supposed to be 20. There's 20 enemies left to kill. And watch what happens when I get towards the very end, when there's no more enemies left to spawn. It says 20. That's the issue. I don't want to backseat you too much, but you might want to make a few more functions to explain some of this. So you want, next time you're looking at this, why is it like that? I don't think I need functions for this. Because it's essentially, like, it's very short, right? I'm calculating how many enemies are left to spawn. I don't think I need functions for that. This is essentially the function, calculate enemies left to spawn. The way I do functions, if I don't need this in another place, is like this. Now it's a function. Thanks for being live right when I need Cakez77. Fucking hate this job. Ah, bro. I feel ya, brother. I feel ya. I have so many things that I do too, bro. That I just don't want to do. I despise it. I hate it. You ever thought about switching your job, bruv? Maybe doing something else? A large Johnson. How large? Welcome, sir. 69. Ooh. Damn. Did you just came straight from Jinxie's stream, bro? Good morning. Yes, sir. Yeah, I do that to make quantum functions, tiny functions, which do one thing, but sometimes can be easier than looking at a full calculation. But again, not be for cakes. Yeah, like if that works for you, that's awesome. I know that I just have a calculation error here. Essentially, I have a calculation error. So essentially, I think it's the ceiling here. Maybe I get rid of. Maybe this is the issue. Maybe it's seal. Let's test. Then we have this again, but it seems to be correct. Wait a minute. Seems to be good. I think it was the seal here, actually, guys. Then we don't need this at all. Float. Maybe this. And then over here, we need to do the minus. Or we do the tick counter. When do we do the tick counter, man? First or second? I mean, it's the first tick. We will spawn it anyways. No, we won't. So this needs to be after this. And then we do enemies. Or level state. Enemies left to spawn. Minus equals 1. And then this is where I should put a comment in. Since the tick happens after the spawn system, we need to subtract the spawned enemy because the calculated enemies left to spawn don't factor in the tick yet. Congratulations, you leveled to 20, only took 20 hours. 2 hours. Alright, let's see if this actually works. Looks good to me. Feels stable as well. Awesome. Now, I want to test this with more than one batch, of course, right? We don't want to have round 1. We now need to copy all of the rounds. So, let's test this. Round 0 is for debug. We'll do that later. Round 1 is something we have done already. So now we convert all of the rounds and we make sure that everything just works. I need a count, time start, and then that is spawn frequency. So we probably want to copy that. Oh, I have an idea. What I can do here is (1 second multiplied by the updates per second. So I think that's much easier. 1 multiplied by updates per second. Oh, we gotta be careful, man. We gotta be very careful. Let's see. So 50, right? Let's see. 0.25 times 50. Ah, we can't do that actually. No, no, no. That's stupid. That's dumb. I mean, I need to take something that is divisible. So for example, 0.2 times 50. That's 10. Okay, that works. So I can only take... I can only... how do you say that? I can only multiply this by stuff that actually works. Okay, yeah, some stuff works, but some stuff doesn't. Yeah, so 0.2 works. 0.4 times 50? That works too. 0.3 times 50? That works too. Okay, so I can go in 10er increments. Does that 0.9 work? Huh. So, aha. So I can do 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can go in 0.1 increments. Only multiply things that result in a full frequency, essentially. Yes. You could also change your frequency to not use divide by modulo instead. That doesn't make sense. No, it does make sense. You're wrong. Now, though, I still want to probably say in ticks, right? So I guess we'll do the spawn frequency, in this case, is 50. Or updates per second. Ooh, that is 3 updates per second. I love that, man. This is cool. Why is this white? Why does it take so long? Like this. the tick counter won't ever be halves. With a fixed time step, you shouldn't be spawning on half ticks. Exactly. Exactly, that's how I see it. So I shouldn't have a half tick in there. Exactly. It shouldn't matter if you're using ints. True. So the spawn frequency would result into, instead of... You're right. Instead of it being... Actually, where's the other calculator? Eh? Did I close it? So if I do 0.125 times 50... Oops. 0.25 times 50, then it would just result into 12. We would cut it out. So wouldn't be perfect, but would still work. Yeah, yeah, I hate that, man. I fucking hate this. It's fine though. It's fine. I like it. That's awesome.
Gotcha, bitch.
This is awesome. I like it. And using this will also allow me to change the updates per second. If I keep the updates per second in the calculation here, that means if I update 60 times per second, or 10 times per second, or 100 times per second, the time-wise, the spawning system will still behave perfectly well. Which means I can now change the updates per second and not affect when on time enemies spawn. That's awesome. So I need to keep the updates per second in here. It's very, very important. Otherwise, we might run into, like, if I halve the updates per second and I say I spawn on 20 ticks, now it takes twice as long for enemies to spawn, essentially, which is bad, of course. I'll just keep the 1 here, it's fine. It's just a compilation time, compile error. No, it's just a compilation. It is just a compile time result anyways. What was this? Was this 0.5? Updates per second? That would be a good test though. Run it like 5 ticks per second to see if there's any issues with your spawn system. Yeah, we can. What? What is the problem, bruv? What? Stop complaining, bitch. Floats cannot be narrowed to an int. Of course it can. What are you talking about? You stupid? Stop complaining now. Asshole. I guess we can do it like this too. Yes. Alright, okay. We still need, I think, like 3 or 4 rounds, then we're done. This is 3 updates per second. I don't even know why this works. And over here we have 50. Start on 50, we spawn 1, and this is the red skeleton. Yeah, that's 5 updates per second. Damn, this is gonna be... I don't know, you don't even know if this works. Hopefully it does. So if you increase the update rate, will things will kill stuff faster but spawn enemies at the same rate? No. The game just advances further, but it still computes when enemies got attacked and stuff like that. So, no. Oh, 0.8. Okay, times updates per second. go. Almost there. Oh no, that's called spawn frequency. I think we have 10 rounds or something. Oh, Fluffy Unicorn, thank you so much for subscribing, man.
Am I so out of
Bro,
touch?
thank you.
No.
Fluffy Onyx just subscribed. Big tick support for 1 year.
I think it's worth it to do this, by the way, guys. I think this is worth it. I'm so happy that I did the fixed update thing. I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, when I'm done with my game, I look back and tell myself, yeah, this was a good choice to do. I have a feeling that this is good to do. Especially for a tower defense game. Like, you know why I think that? Because, now I bring this example a lot, I know that. But I think that since Bloons is doing it, and I know they do, I need to do it too. Like, just imagine people getting mad in Bloons because their computers are slower than others. Great logic. Yeah, I think so. Like, you can see how perfect the Bloons spawn in the game. Every time you start a new game in Bloons, or you start a round, you see how perfect the enemies, the Bloons, well, the enemies, right? The Bloons are positioned on the track. They are perfect from each other. If they don't have fixed update, they have some way of telling where a Bloon should be at any given point in time on the track when they spawn. And I think it's important. If we want to be a competitor to other tower defense games, sure, we need to do this. If we don't, then we're worse. Why would you invest time and effort into a game that's worse? Plays worse. Like a game that has more mechanics, but it's just worse when it comes to physics and determining whether you win or lose. Why would you invest your time into this? Think about it. In my opinion, it's just frustrating and annoying if that happens. Like, maybe most players won't be able to tell, but I'm pretty sure there will be a time when you play a tower defense game or you play the game, right? And then all of a sudden, you do exactly the same thing twice in a row, but the result is different. Now, what would you think in that situation? What would you do? I would call the game bullshit. I would say shit game, essentially. I did the exact same thing, but I couldn't get past this mob this time for some reason. Why? Think about it. And I think that would be the same thing as in Dark Souls. If you did exactly the same thing, the boss attacked you at exactly the same time, and you have enough knowledge of the game, and you know that you should have dodged, but for some reason the updating of the game took longer this time, and therefore you got hit in a way that you shouldn't get hit. That's bullshit. There we go, guys. Fixed the update, the spawn system. And the spawn data here is gone. Now all we need to do is get this. Go into the game's header file. Struct round and spawn batch and replace those. There we go. And then we call this round, spawn batch, and spawn batch without the number 2. And then in the game, spawn data 2 is now spawn data. And this is round 2. Round, sorry. And then over here, we will run into issues because these are all now rounds and that shouldn't exist. Yeah. That shouldn't exist. There we go. Oh, yeah, we have this twice, of course. This is how I like adding things to the game. I keep the previous version, the previous data, all of the stuff, until I have a functioning system that I replace the old system with, and then I delete the old system by renaming it back to the original one and deleting the old ones. That's how I do it. And now we effectively have a new spawning system in the game. And we can test it. Let's see, round 2 should spawn us 25 enemies. We want to test? Let's give him some good stuff here. 20. The important number is this number right here, 20. That this stays correct. I'm interested in round 2 now. Oh man, holy shit. May I get an opinion about me and my friend's game? Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we leaked 3 enemies, that's fine. Happens. It happens. Yeah. Aha, it does 16. That's not correct. I think. 16 is wrong. So, I mean, why? Oh. I know why. I know why. It is... I know why. Update level. Over here. Whenever we start a new round, we need to do level, state, tick, counter, set that back to 0. So I knew I forgot something, but this is why I put a save point here. By the way, I can't believe that this guy just lost. Come on. 25? Shit. Wait, it's correct? Wait. 25 is correct? Yeah? Three, 2, 1. It works. Cakez, having start time and spawn frequency is duplicated state, moron. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're totally wrong. What are you talking about? The frequency is the frequency at which they spawn, you dumbass. And the time start is when they start spawning. You need those two. Are you dumb? Start the time at X, then spawn every ticks. Yeah, true. Tell him, Mr. Real Super Cool. Tell him. Exactly. He's wrong. How do you deal with stuff like crit, burn chance, etc.? Because that would cause differences as well. You would have to remove the random. You would have to remove random a whole and just redetermine the set of values. No. Buffs. Yeah. Buffs will now happen on ticks. I will rework buffs next to work in terms of ticks. So if a buff lasts 5.6 seconds, I will turn that into a number of ticks. And then I will determine how the ticks happen. So I don't have any problem with the buff ticking, the buff not ticking on the last tick because of floating point inaccuracies. They will happen on ticks now. But what if burn chance, for example, or will burn always trigger on attack? No, burn chance is just a random number. Cakez, please just change your spawn function to take in seconds as frequency rather than change it for every single round. It's too late now, but please, you ruined my sleep again. Wait, please just change your spawn function just to take seconds as frequency rather than changing it for every single round. What do you mean? What are you talking about? This is just the spawn frequency. You mean the spawn frequency should be a time and then I calculate the frequency based on the ticks? You changed your spawn frequency, for example, from 2 to updates per second in every spawn batch. You could leave it as 2 and then do it in the function. I see. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. You think that's better to do, guys? Would you like that more? You could leave it at 2. I suppose it's fine, right? Yes. Yes. You think it's better? No? So, like, it's gonna be minuscule, right? I'm gonna explain to you. It's gonna be so minuscule, but it is. It's essentially, if I leave it like this, the compiler does the calculation for me. If I don't leave it like this, I have to do the calculation myself. Okay. That's essentially it. He's starting to realize working in ticks is wrong. No, working in ticks is correct. What are you talking about? Because as you can spawn enemies twice per second or similar. It's not wrong. Boy just needs some guidance. What is this guy? So you guys are telling me, okay, fine. Fine, we're gonna do it like this. Then we turn this into a float. Okay, I mean... Told you, Cakez?
Told you, Cakez. I told you, Cakez. Cakez, I told you. You fucking idiot. You're so stupid, bruv. Listen to me, man.
A float? Yeah, I mean, what else would it be? Real super cool. I have to do 0.5. I have to turn this from a float to an int. I need to have 0.5. Guys, it's not that problematic. You guys, you know what you guys are? You are like the Linux guy that doesn't want to do nesting because... Okay, that's what you guys are. You're like, oh no, that doesn't look so good, man. That's not so good. You should do it like this way. I can't sleep tonight. It doesn't matter, bro. Multiply by 10. Huh? You can multiply these nuts, bruv. Multiply these nuts with your face. Nesting is bad. Yeah, it's fine, Cakez. Your fixed time is adequate. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's so too, yeah. I don't know about this, guys. I can see where you're coming from, but I feel like it's essentially just shifting. I mean, it's just a tiny bit more to type. That's all, bro. Really. Cakez, you need to stop using an entire line for curly braces. Management won't be happy about this. Yeah, someone on YouTube told me that too, but they're wrong, actually. I think they're wrong. It doesn't matter where I put my curly braces, you know? For all I care, he can put their curly braces in his ass, man. Don't really care. What matters is if the program works or not. And to be honest with you, I think this is more awesome to read than this. How would that even work here? Ugh. This is awesome because it gives me the curly brace on the same indentation level. I think that's better. I think this objectively just better. Think about it, guys. It's smart. So you guys are ready? Are you guys happy with this now? Round 9, we're almost done. Almost round 10. Then we have the fixed time step spawning system, the tick system, that I like to call it. And then tomorrow we're gonna work on buffs. And you know what? Who am I? Are you here? Who am I? The programmer?
Gotcha, bitch.
On... who am I? Are you still here? The developer of... Yes. So now... I need to create the const spawn frequency, right? Const int spawn frequency. We forgot one in round 10. Hello there, my man. Thank you so much for following Axarist, and Okeda. Hello, good morning. Frequency. That is... Okay, so how do I do this? I turn this into an int. I take the spawn batch dot spawn frequency and I multiply that by the updates per second. Turn that into an int, right? And then over here I can just use the spawn frequency in the calculation. Start, frequency, end. And then we just modulo that by the spawn frequency. Like this. Right? And that would be the first. Wait, this is the spawn system reloaded. I need that here too, don't I? I do need that. Const int, yeah, wait. We need to turn that into an int by doing... by the updates. Updates per second. Okay.
Gotcha, bitch.
I think this is it, right? Yeah. Olive, good morning. Thank you very much for following. What are we doing? We are currently creating a spawning system for a tower defense game that is not based on time, but based on ticks. And that takes in, I don't know how much you know about game development, but essentially you can take a timeline, which is this green thing, and when you update your frame, that takes time. This is usually called delta time. And this delta time, the step here, depending on your machine, that can vary depending on how powerful your machine is. And so these red lines, you see how uneven they can be. And so depending on how many times, depending on how, how should I say this? Depending on your machine, depending on how many times you update, you want to spawn an enemy at a certain rate, right? If this is time 0 here, and you want to spawn an enemy on 1, that would be here. You're not going to spawn the enemy until you get to here, because at this, in this little zone, you're waiting for the frame to be calculated and drawn, and it starts here. So here you're not on 1 yet, here you are over 1. And so you're not perfectly spawning the enemy on 1, but you're spawning it slightly after 1 every time. And so that results, just like a CSGO tick, exactly. And so that results in enemies, if these bubbles are enemies, they would look something like this. They're very uneven. It's not perfect. They're not like perfect next to each other. You know, when you try to make them perfect. And so this is essentially what I'm doing at the moment. We're done almost with this. Essentially, we're done right now. I need to get rid of those 2 texts. I think we are done. Right? Let's test this again. Whoa. Whoa, what happened? It says round 50. Let me see here. This is bad. This should be in the UI, yes. We're gonna do this later. So this one here, enemies count, enemies left to spawn. Fix the code flow, manage rounds. So it looks like it doesn't find enemies left to spawn, which means my calculation here is wrong. Guys, it doesn't spawn me anything. Huh. Let's see. Ticks in frequency, let's see. Elapsed ticks 0. Start tick 0. end tick should be...
Gotcha, bitch.
Ha! Ah! I forgot the spawn frequency here. Const int... It's here, isn't it? Frequency. Let's rename this to spawn frequency. Okay, so I had a problem here. Spawn. There we go. Ronin, thank you very much for following. Welcome. I need to clean my eyes out. I've asked this a few times with no... Okay, so I understood the issue, but I don't get the solution. How do you overcome that? Ah, how do I overcome this? This problematic situation here is simple, actually. The overcoming this is simple. Let's say we have a timeline, right? This is the time that flows. And we basically say, okay, well, time, I want to update at fixed intervals. Fixed. It's called fixed update. The fixed update happens in fixed steps. So when you start on 0 here, your first update will be fixed. And how do you do that? Well, you determine this yourself first. You'd say, okay, well, I want to update once every 1 second. I want to update once every 0.02 seconds. That would be 50 times per second. This is essentially what Unity has. And this is 0.02 seconds in this case, okay? And what you do here is you let your game run as fast as possible. And that would be the rendering time. You accumulate delta time essentially. So what you call, what you create is some sort of accumulate ACC delta time. And so in most cases, this accumulated delta time is being accumulated using what we call the frame time. And this frame time is something that takes stuff to draw, gives it the renderer, and then the renderer just draws that stuff to the screen, to the window. And this is then looped back to the data, and the data here is not changed. The data is calculated in the fixed update loop. So the fixed update loop changes the data only during these steps. So one of these steps will change how the data is represented, what is the data holding. And while the update is waiting to be updated again, while the data is waiting to be updated again, you are accumulating the frame time, which is this entire thing. And this frame time here could be very fast. In a 2D game, that could be 1 divided by 1,000. And 1,000 is your frames per second. Okay? So that would mean it's like a very, very low number. Because you're effectively just rendering something to the screen. That's already there. It doesn't need to update itself. And so this accumulated delta time, essentially you have all of these steps in between. Okay, these are all of the rendering steps that you see. These are all of the pictures, you know, that show up here. And then once you get to this point, you change the data. You have a fixed step. And then the spawn system says, oh, I want to spawn an enemy on the first tick. And so now and I want to spawn one on the second tick too. And so now you can see here that as this accumulated delta time gets greater or equals to this fixed update, to the 1 divided by 50, then you create a new data point, essentially. And that data point is always correct. To the dot. And then you keep updating, you keep rendering that state until you get to the next state. Then you update, you render number 2. And then in order to make this better, between the two here, you can lerp. It's a bit complicated, but it works. Lerp means going from one state to the other over time. It's a bit complicated, but yeah. Ultimately that's what we did. Fixed update is great for deterministic physics, but unsure how it applies here. It applies to the spawning of units. It essentially applies to how many enemies spawn when. And if that is not deterministic and dependent on the lag on your machine, well, how can you have the same round play out exactly the same on 2 different runs? It's impossible. That's the issue. But what happens if in your game's case the GPU lags? Single-threaded fixed timestamp would also pause the renderer, catches up. The more you accumulate, the more you would update, essentially. It would not change the result of the game. It would take longer, but it doesn't change the result of the game, because the real-world time does not need to be changing the rendering time, essentially. Okay. Anyways, it looks good to me now. Let's get to round 2. I'm gonna give him a lot of weapons so that he definitely doesn't lose. Give him some good stuff here. Like this. When the renderer has a lag and the game tries to catch up. Man, I'm still not one-shotting. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. How am I not one-shotting these guys? Let's give him a big club. Alright. Even yoink the Zweihänder? What do you mean? Even yoink the Zweihänder? Of course. Holy moly. That looks awesome. He crit him. Or something. Damn. Who's gonna tell little bro that we already have Bloons TD? Okay, you're banned. First time chatter, bro. This guy's actually a first time chatter. Wow. The audacity to come into my chat and to write that as your first message. See you in 5 minutes, bitch. He's not right. He's not right. This is not Bloons TD. Okay, 33 enemies. Is that correct? Do we have round 3? 33 enemies? We do in fact have 33 enemies. Let's see if that's actually correct. Now. Hey, cool. Look at this, guys. It works. Look at that. This is what I wanted. Now my spawning system is no longer undeterministic because of time discrepancies. This is so awesome. Uh-oh. This guy is dying. This guy, you need to kill him. Come on. Fuck. Mr. Cakez, I'm tired today, so I will write Among Us a monologue tomorrow. Take care, smiley face. Okay, bro. Appreciate it. Can't beat his own game. Yeah, just wait. Okay, cool. I'm happy. We're gonna make a git commit and push. Git add. Dot. Git commit minus m. Fixed time step. Tick. Spawn system. Git push. Cakez, why the fuck did you add crit moron? How's the game deterministic with that? Huh? Guys, are you talking about... I'm not critting. And I think now I understand what Inukai tries to say with burn chance. That the burn chance is not deterministic. And therefore, the game behaves differently if you burn an enemy or not. Yes. Took you long enough. Now, I do understand that. However, I now still have the tick rate for burns and the spawning for enemies perfectly calculated. And that is never going to be an issue moving forward. Okay? Now, what I had before was for buffs, there would be 2 ticks and the buff was here time-wise, and then it would overshoot a little bit over here, and then it wouldn't tick on the last tick. Okay, so guys, there were issues with buffs not ticking on the last tick, and we can now get rid of this because we have tick rates. Okay, we don't have time anymore, we have tick rates, and I like that more. You can easily make deterministic random with a fixed seed. Yes, I can make that, that's true. If I wanted to, Sir Clausy, I can do this, yes. And so, for example, if you load a game, you would also load... Now, if you start a round, you would also seed the round the same way. But I think that's boring, because then you can determine whenever you're going to have a bleed chance proc or a burn chance proc. And then you could place your units around that. You could generate... You could do some crazy shit, and so I don't want that. Don't forget, you forgot to remove 1 updates per second. I forgot that, yeah? Thank you, man. Where? Where did I forget this? Actually, let's put, remove this here, 0.5. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, bro. Where is that? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Thank you, man. That would have been a disaster. Okay, so your game is not deterministic. Ah, shut the fuck up, bitch.